Ben, welcome to tonight's trivia challenge. Nick, are you ready tonight to attempt our trivia challenge?
I believe so, yes.
David, are you ready for tonight's trivia challenge?
Sure.
All right, now we have Camille on our show tonight, and we have the first question. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right, the first question is, name 3 countries that start with the letter B.
Bolivia,
Brazil, Belgium,
Brazil.
Bangladesh,
I don't know. I just played it.
and Bulgaria.
All right, we'll count that. Saved by the bell.
Bolivia, Borneo, and Botswana.
Second question is, name 3 of your lead ADCs.
Corbett Bennett, Jasmine Guillen, and
Lead ADCs. Zeke, Amy, and Mandy Stauffer.
okay,
Nathan Abernathy.
I can't think of their names.
Abby Ryan, and Corbett Bennett.
It's the pressure of the camera, right? It's all the campaign name recognition. We lost our own names. All right, but you have a chance to redeem yourself with our final question of the night. And that is, name 3 brands of bubblegum.
Hubble Bubble,
Juicy Fruit,
Dentine, and Eclipse.
Trident, and
Extra,
Starburst.
5, and Trident.
Congratulations, you are our first contestant to get all of the answers correct.
Who can you turn to for defending the Second Amendment?
Callahan is my man.
Who's the candidate with strong pro-life conservative convictions?
Callahan's my man.
Who is committed to expanding educational freedom and mobility?
Callahan's my man.
Who's the person that will lower your income taxes?
Callahan's my man.
Who is committed to small businesses and improving Detroit?
Callahan's my man.
Who's our man?
Callahan's our man.
Welcome to your Thursday edition of Lead News at Noon. I have to say, Meredith, I had no idea that so much could happen in 2 days.
That's right, Josh. Between the committee meeting and press conferences at the Capitol, the feats of strength, and of course, the gubernatorial election, this has been an exciting and somewhat nerve-wracking time for all of us.
Speaking of the gubernatorial election, last night the 4 parties had their debate at the Doty Center. They all expressed their candidates' views on these different issues facing Michigan today. But don't take my word for it. Hear what our panelists had to say.
Hello, we are here live right now, just moments after 2018's gubernatorial debate night has ended. I'm here with Jacob Belanti and Jonathan Meyer to share our thoughts and some memorable quotes from this evening's debate. But I enjoyed how the Elm campaign really did hit on this issue of privacy and stated that it would not be an infringement since it was simply a location. However, that's really open to interpretation.
Yeah, I really did like how Maple probably answered that question that the media panel gave them about lowering the health care and about it's not actually lowering it and just re-clarifying that. I really did like how they did that.
They presented this really hypothetical situation to Callahan. They're saying, well, what if this person didn't really know what they were doing and they were under influence of maybe drugs or essentially like that.
Sorry.
Yeah, and they're like essentially sorry about it. Well, first degree murder, I feel like it's a very like black and white issue. Like, if you're convicted for first degree murder, it's premeditated murder. You're clear of mind. Like, you know exactly what you're doing. You have all your cognitive, like, you know, mentally cognitive. And I think just something like this, that question wasn't really like phrased appropriately to Callahan, and I think they defended that well. Budgeting, for instance, there was a lot of difference between the candidates, and I'm really excited about that.
Remember to stop by the chapel at 5 o'clock to cast your vote for Michigan governor.
While the candidates have been fighting for governorship, the legislators have been fighting to get their bills through committee. Our lead reporters set out for the Capitol to get the scoop on these developments.
How could you possibly oppose a bill that will help save your lives, the lives of your children, the lives of your neighbors, and the lives of your fellow Americans?
Help me pass this bill to help the police get people out of harm's way.
This bill will allow schools to save the life of a child at a very cheap price. And there will be those who are trying to oppose this bill, and I want to ask you, how could you oppose a bill that could save a child's life one day?
Well, some schools do already have anti-bullying procedures. Under the current legislation, these policies are not mandatory. Our bill would amend current school codes, mandating them to adopt and implement a policy that takes steps to prohibit bullying at schools.
I am Representative Nimitz. If Bill 4131 were to pass, it would allow any two unmarried persons to adopt a child, also extending step-parent adoption to the partner of the legal parent. This in turn would increase an adoption rate by increasing opportunities for unmarried persons who before were not able to adopt due to financial funding or lack of stability by allowing a second unmarried person to receive custody. This allows for more financial support by adding a second party.
421,000 people are injured a year because of distracted driving. Texting and driving is a serious issue, and it must be dealt with.
I believe that the state's law enforcement and judicial system should strive to achieve justice for all those drawn into it. When someone is wrongfully convicted, that justice is not served. We need to give people the glue to put their life back together.
While the House was preparing their bills, the Senate began writing amendments for theirs. For more details on that, we have Jeremiah Williams with us here today. Thank you for joining us, Jeremiah.
Well, thanks for having me.
Jeremiah, what can you tell us about the Senate amendments?
Well, it was a tough race for everyone, but I think everyone did really good. I think everyone did amazing. There was some interesting amendments, and there was some good debate in each community. Yeah, it was a very interesting thing, and I really enjoyed being there, and it was altogether a really good experience.
Well, thank you for that report, Jeremiah. On to the feats of strength. After the games, Jacob Belante interviewed some of the competitors.
What did you think of Feats of Strength this year?
I was a fan. Our team worked really well together, and we had a pretty cool cheer that we said probably way too many times, but it was really good overall.
I thought it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of energy.
It was interesting, I'll say that.
Well, it was my first time, and I loved it. It was so much fun. All the team competitiveness, it was all so much fun.
What was your favorite part about the Feats of Strength?
Definitely volleyball.
Actually, volleyball.
Definitely volleyball.
Volleyball, for sure.
Definitely volleyball.
I would say volleyball, and I think that was the majority of everyone's favorite game. It was outside, and everyone seemed to have a lot of fun.
My favorite game probably would be the dot game, I think it was called.
If you could have done one thing differently, what would that be?
Be a little better at volleyball.
Be better at volleyball.
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not entirely sure, honestly.
So you feel like you did pretty good overall?
I think we did pretty well overall.
More complex strategy in the cup game. Draw the lines better on the dot-to-dot game.
I wouldn't really do anything differently. I think my team really had our chant we made our chant very known and very loud, and it was good. It was fun.
I wish I had a better team captain. Yeah.
Thank you.
All of the teams performed admirably, but in the end, it was Guam that won the day. They are Guam! They're the boss!
Honestly, just save the performing for tonight's talent show.
Alright, if I must wait.
For those of you who haven't heard yet, tonight we'll be hosting the only SSI talent show for Week 3, 2018. If you haven't signed up yet, be sure to do so as soon as you can.
Well, that's all for now, folks. Be sure to make it to the polls at 5 o'clock to cast your vote for Michigan's governor.
This has been Lead News at Noon.
Do you want to protect yourself? Are you tired of losing loved ones? Do you want to eliminate unnecessary spending? I will restore the important right to uphold arms. I will put arms into the responsible hands of those who care. Please join us and vote for Nicholas Hill.
Are you thinking?
Are you thinking?
Are you thinking?
I'm thinking.
I'm thinking about my rights to educational choice.
I'm thinking about the importance of protecting the Second Amendment.
I'm thinking about the death penalty and how it goes against my faith.
I'm thinking about the next Michigan governor.
Are you thinking about Michigan's next governor?
I think Thomas.
I think Thomas.
I think Thomas.
Are you thinking about Michigan's next governor?
Think Thomas!